guys. Welcome to the DC Infinite Hour. As always, Brad, the DC Universe Geek, YouTube legend, Rob D. Toys, best action figure photographer in the game and best looking action figure
That's true.
photographer in the game. And I am, of course, Ahsoka the Geek. Great to see everyone. Sorry for the short notice. My fault. We were trying to figure out today, tomorrow. I realized today's better because we have commitments tomorrow. And Rob threw together a beautiful thumbnail for the show, and Brad
That was very last minute.
very last minute. Brad was available. So the show came together in the last 20 minutes. And thank you guys in the audience. Already up to 37 people. Josh from before, Anthony, Scott, Diago, Al, the designer of our beautiful intro. And here we are, guys. Here we are with a big episode. You know what I'm saying?
You guys see what I did there? You guys see it?
I didn't see it. I missed it.
Only one. Only one. I posted, and I remembered to click it off of all.
Look at this guy. I mean, we really should just default to just, your name, but whatever.
Yeah. Why isn't it defaulted?
I don't know.
Do we want to do the breaking news for Walmart, or do we want to do that later?
Hey, Rob, relax. We got to do some bullshitting first. Let people come in.
Dude, I don't know how much time we got.
This guy just wants to go. Hey, who knows, buddy? Who knows? Could be 5 minutes. Could be an hour. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rob, no one knows how much time we got. That's what it is to be alive. The only thing
that's
just assured is life is death. So don't worry about it.
Where's my?
I love it. I mean, and Brad's got a nice brewski. It looks like.
I do. I have myself a Guinness Harp.
Ooh, how's that, dude?
So good. Yeah, it's just a lager. Guinness doesn't just make their dark stuff. They make Hop House 13.
Oh yeah, blonde.
Yeah, they make Guinness Blonde. Yep, and then they make Harp. Harp is their most generic. Well, it's just a lager, but it's not. It's anything but generic. It's their attempt at genericism, I suppose. Maybe.
I've never tried. I've always stuck to the darker stuff. I never tried the blonde really, or the Harp.
Some of those are hard to find because when I was in the States, I couldn't find really almost any good beers. It was all just domestic camel piss.
Hey, we have some good beers. I will have you, good sir.
I've noticed there's a lot of cans in the States. Like if you don't drink the basic beers, a lot of the cans are very patriotic, very American patriotic.
You got
American Eagles on them and stuff.
Not the microbreweries. They're they got some crazy designs. But
and I couldn't. That's the thing. I couldn't find almost any microbrewery stuff in Indiana.
Oh,
yeah. And I went to a couple different liquor stores, booze stores, and I was like, "Where is all the cool beer? And why is the beer selection so small?"
No, we've changed.
We have a store called the Beer Store with 300 different kinds of beer in it, and then our liquor store has a ton of beer in it too, different kinds of beer.
The beer scene has changed quite a bit, Brad. You come over here in Cali, we got tons of beer breweries now, microbreweries.
Oh, of course, Cali does.
It
would make sense that California would. I said, you know what? California is a more libby state, so they're more gonna try new things like that. And then I tend to find that more conservative people are more conservative beer drinkers usually. So they'll drink Bush beer. Or I guess here we have Labatt and Molson Canadian and stuff like that. I mean, it's not always the case, but so maybe it's because Indiana is a conservative state. They didn't have a lot of really tasty tasties, and I would have had to go to a very special place to get them. I don't know.
I'm going to switch gears from this conservative lib conversation about beer real quick because this is going to snowball quickly. And let's go with some breaking news that Rob wanted to talk about real quick. He was excited about this, and Brad hasn't seen it yet either. But here we go.
Yeah, I agree. Ahsoka, you might need a new mic.
Oh, am I crackly?
Not always, but sometimes you are.
Oh,
a little bit.
I need to get a new mic, guys.
Look at that Two-Face. They're not even for purity yet.
That's the platinum.
Are they in Cali or Texas? Tell me the truth.
What is
California?
Knew it. I can pre-order anything, and it still goes to California first. Is that black and? I like the gold.
I think it's a dark blue.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the really dark. But I love the gold. Like I would buy a regular one, and then I would buy that one and another regular one, and I would swap all the gold parts onto the other regular one.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've got black body parts for doing custom work.
So these are hitting, and they're platinums at least.
Yep.
So at least they're not
Red ones, red
platinums. Yep.
Have we seen platinums from the? Is this the digital?
Yes, the
digital.
Have we ever seen digital have platinums before? I think this is a first.
I'm gonna be honest and say I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
Just flat out tell the truth here. I don't remember.
If they're the platinum versions, my guess, because I haven't seen anything, is that the light blue, like the comic blue and yellow, or blue and gold for Dr. Fate. Two-Face, I'm not sure. I mean, that could be totally a couple different versions.
I don't know,
Right?
Pac. Probably not. That is nice, though.
Right? I'm sorry, that's the barcode. Let's go back this way. It's a good-looking Two-Face.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a mix between, like, you know, Batman animated and, of course, the Arkham series.
He looked like that also for a time in the comics. Like that's also a quasi modern-ish look. That would probably be the modern look, and the other one would be the classic look or whatever, right? If there's two,
like the Silver Age one.
Yeah, I'm guessing because there's a platinum here.
Yeah, Greg Capullo had one like that.
Greg Capullo's was red and black as well. Yeah, red and black. Because when Batman exciting. Rebirth first started, Two-Face was one of the first villains when Rebirth started that I believe Batman had to deal with.
And I am looking at
story, actually.
This is on Toy Hunter Collective's page, so credit to Toy Hunter Collectives for sharing this out first.
Yep.
And there you go. So there's some breaking news.
You know what? It stresses me out. I got to write a list of all the ones that and I still haven't found either of the Geo Forces.
Really?
Dude, I never saw it.
They haven't came to Canada yet. Maybe they never will.
There's a website I think I sent to you guys earlier today. I think I'll look for it, Brad. I think I can find websites with them on it.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be really helpful.
I got to find it. I don't know which one exactly it is, but I look for all that stuff.
If I go to buy this stuff off Evil Bay, I've pretty much got to start donating. I got to start selling internal organs on the black market, or I got to take out a bank loan.
Yeah.
To be able to afford them.
I mean, you already got rid of one kidney for that platinum last year, so you really can't afford another one, Brad.
Yeah. As a reviewer, it's crazy because I can't keep up as it is. It takes me a long time to make my videos, so it's just gets stressful. Get stressed when I see stuff that's already out. I'm like, why is it already out?
Yeah.
And it always seems to come in large waves, right? There's nothing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden there's a ton of stuff.
I need that though. I need that to be a thing. I need to have time where I'm not going.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have two big main topics for the show tonight. We have Rob's New York adventure at Toy Fair and everything he saw and experienced. We want to talk about how he left New York without his wallet and pants. Apparently, I'm just kidding.
You went in your underwear? Dude.
Yeah.
You must have been on.
I'm sorry, buddy. We also have Mattel. So I feel like we should talk about Mattel first, but that could naturally lead to the. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I actually kind of want to talk about Mattel first. Okay, I've got my thoughts on that. So yeah, I say we tackle the Mattel problem first. And then move on to the fun adventure stuff. Because I mean, this is going to be a topic that this has been a hot topic. I mean, the second the news broke, it was all over YouTube. And I was like, I could make a video right now and try to cash in on the views, but I was like, I don't really want to. I don't want to be the guy that tries to cash in on those views at this point.
I totally tried to cash in on the views and posted a video. So that was me.
That was a lot of people. Don't feel bad. I just didn't want to do it, right? I didn't want to change my workflow to make this other video.
But you know what's funny? I would have loved to have seen your thoughts, Brad. Because I always tell you, dude.
You'll see him tonight. I
I know,
I
but
knew we were gonna have a cast, so
I know, but I love hearing your thoughts, bro. If you just made videos every day of just your thoughts on something, I would listen to it. So
yeah, I can't do that. Not enough people actually like seeing my face. For real, when I did my reviews of Superman and Lois and they were like sit down videos, it tanks my friggin' views big time. So I stopped doing them because I didn't want to kill my channel because I've worked so hard on it.
all right,
You know what? I'll make you videos.
please make it. I'll
Just
take it.
you.
All right, we'll talk about the
Yeah.
content of those videos later. But
Oh,
let me set up the topic, right? So just in case for anyone in our stream who isn't aware, last week Mattel and Warner Brothers announced that Mattel had regained the license for DC Comics, appearing to pretty much have the master toy license once again to DC.
Yep.
There's been confirmations McFarlane's losing most of it, which we'll talk about. Spin Master as well. Starting early 2026, we will start seeing Mattel product. Yeah, Brad, I'm going to kick it over to you first, sir. I guess what was your reaction when you heard the news? What did you think?
Well, everything only lasts so long, right? So like I feel like everything has a beginning, everything will have an end. So I wasn't like I'm not heartbroken that Mattel has a license and McFarlane lost. I mean, I really, really enjoy. I've really enjoyed, and I will continue to enjoy what Todd and his team are putting out. It's been an epic ride, for sure, a memorable ride, and I've been there since the beginning. And I don't think I don't think I've been attached to very many figure lines from the beginning. So it's been a fantastic experience. But in the same token, when one door closes, another door opens in that sense. And so for us as collectors, a door is closing, a season is ending, seasons are changing, and we're going to have this new, this opportunity to start something new. Now, like I've seen a lot of people's thoughts on this whole situation, and a lot of people are like, they're comparing what they think Mattel is going to do to what they have done in the past. And I would say, don't do that. I would say don't go at this with any preconceived notions or ideas because we don't know what Mattel's going to do. I would surmise that because the action figure landscape has changed so much in the last 6-7 years, and it started, obviously while Mattel previously had the license, I feel like now the chances of them doing something completely different are much greater, I feel. So like we live in an age now where, for example, Jakks Pacific is releasing like amazing figures for the price point with lots of articulation. We live in an age where Spin Master is releasing amazing figures for the price point. I bought an Aloy figure from Horizon Zero Dawn, made by Spin Master, and I couldn't believe what I was holding for what it was. So it seems like a lot of companies, they've done their research, done their homework. They know that it's a lot of adult collectors, and they know what we want. And I'm assuming that Mattel, I'm hoping that Mattel is wise enough to also be taking part in that new landscape, so that means with better articulation and new sculpts. And then the other thing is, in the same way a lot of people got really upset when McFarlane Toys announced they were going to be 7-inch, a lot of people were really upset, and they're like, well, why can't McFarlane make them to go with my existing figures? And I was pretty straightforward back then. McFarlane doesn't owe us anything to our previous collection, right? It's their job to make figures and try to sell as many as they can. So why would they make figures that we can cherry pick from and add to our existing collection, right? It's leaving money on the table. So rather than being able to go, well, I like this Flash, but I'm okay with my Green Lantern. Yeah, so I don't need this one. It makes sense that they would want to make an all new scale. So my second thought on this is, beyond the hope that they may actually do something, surprise us in a good way, is the idea that I don't think that Mattel will be making the figures in DC Universe Classic scale. And I don't think they'll be making them in McFarlane scale. I feel like this is just an idea. I feel like they'll be somewhere in the middle of that scale so that they can do a whole new universe full of figures that we have to buy. And I think that that's a fantastic idea. I mean, I'm on board. I like, if we're going to start new, then I want to start new completely and get a whole bunch of new figures and build a new Justice League and build all these characters. And I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that. And their release schedule tends to be a little bit more steady, right? Like they're like every month or month and a half, there was a wave of like 6 figures on average with a collector build.
Yeah.
And so you knew what to expect, which means we won't get as much, but our wallets won't be as empty. So it's like, it's a trade-off. So those are my thoughts about the whole Mattel getting the license again. Do I wish that maybe another company had a chance to show what they could do with the license? Sure. I mean, there's lots of companies that could have had a chance at this license and it would have been fantastic. But in the end, it took a toy company that had a large amount of disposable income to invest in it, and they got it. And so now I just, I'm hoping that they've got something really cool in store for us in the future.
Yeah, one point I want to make about the scale before we ask Rob his thoughts. I mean, even if they call it a 7-inch line, right? Like DC collectible 7-inch looks way different from McFarlane. So it's interesting with scale. You're right. I don't think they're going to make it compatible, but that's a great point you bring up. They don't want to make it easy for you, right? Just to take.
No, they want to make money.
Yeah,
it's a business.
Rob,
sure.
Rob D Toys, let's hear your thoughts, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad that the DC multiverse is ending. I'm excited for what could come.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've made friends in, McFarlane, and I want to keep those friendships. And obviously, we're still going to, look at some of their stuff, because from what I understand, while they don't have the DC multiverse license, there is potential that they could be doing stuff still, like Todd said, in the future, whether that's, statues or something else. I don't know. I'm hoping, and this is just my hoping, is that they keep the superpowers line. I don't know if they will, but that is one of my favorites that I've been collecting for a while.
Yeah.
I could see maybe the Batman 66, the Super Friends new one, that's possibly sticking around. And then, Todd has other things like Mortal Kombat that's coming up.
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, which I've seen, but I couldn't photograph. And, a plethora of other properties that, he's going, like he said, he's been in this business for so long. I don't have any doubt that they're going to stick around and keep making amazing products and keep getting better.
Yeah.
As I was reading the comments, like, I don't like the negativity that is like, it's this or this, like, why can't we enjoy both,
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was at Toy Fair, the one thing I realized is there's a lot of DC property throughout the fair, and some places that I didn't even realize, like NECA has the Toonies, that's DC property. Funko has theirs. Mondo, Mego Toys. Thank you. Yeah. I missed that one. Beast Kingdom, and I think there was a Beast Kingdom like little display, but I missed that when I was I was only there Saturday, so I was like running around like my head cut off.
Yeah, overwhelmed, eh?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of meetings that I had to go to and stuff, so I didn't get to see everything. So there is a lot of product out there if you actually look for it. So, and then FonJoy has their own. So there are other companies making, product. I don't think it's like one's better than the other. It's just they're all different. And as DC fans, I can like, just like I'm a Zack fan. I'm gonna say Zack Snyder. But I'm also like looking forward to what Gunn has to see, put out with the Superman movie. So it's kind of like that, like I'm excited, but I'm one of those people that actually likes the articulation of McFarlane. I like the diaper. I know not everybody likes that, but I think it looks natural. And one thing that I do like that Mattel, or not Mattel, what McFarlane is doing that I haven't seen others do, like with Hasbro or even Mattel, is that their waist is on a ball joint instead of a swivel. And I think that that's something that could be said. Like, people say that McFarlane's articulation is not there, and I'm like, I don't see it, because it's every bit there that you need for a human being. The only thing that I would like to see, obviously, is the ab crunch and the neck with the articulate. If you put like an articulated peg on, like kind of like a Hasbro,
and an approximation of a thigh cut would be nice too.
Yeah,
because that's usually not so.
But I am, look, there's still a year roughly still to go. So Todd's going to be pumping out stuff left and right.
Yeah.
Mattel has yet to show us anything. And I think it's funny that people are assuming that it's going to go back to the DC Classics or DC
their version of the multiverse.
I think it's going to be a totally different beast.
Yeah.
Totally new articulation.
Yeah.
I was looking at the WWE figures, the Elite.
They're top-notch ones, right?
Those are, I think, 6-inch from what I read. But they look like a big 6-inch.
They're big. I have the Hulk Hogan. They're definitely better, and they're bigger.
Now, the Masterverse is 7-inch, which scales really nicely with McFarlane figures. So it'll be interesting to see what take it is. Both, I think, are really good. So I think either way, I think we'll be fine. They are doing cloth material. I would like to see them, maybe branch out and do wired capes and stuff like that. The one thing that I think is kind of interesting is what I've noticed with the WWE figures is that some of them have the torso cut like a McFarlane and now Hasbro, and some of them have that old like crunch, ab crunch like the old DC figure or Mattel figures. So I'm like, in the chat, like, which ab crunch device do you like better? Personally, I like the way that McFarlane does it. Granted, I would like to see a little bit more of a deeper cut in that than that, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, how would you, the torso cut?
I'm used to not having that now.
Yeah,
so I like the look of it.
Yeah,
I like the look of not having.
I think it looks more natural than having like two lines go down straight here.
That's what I mean. Yep.
But that's me personally. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I mean, from talking with Mattel, and that we'll get into that probably a little later, is that they're definitely interested in keeping the adult collector in mind, but also doing stuff for the younger kids too. So
expected. Yeah, that's expected.
And just from what you see that Mattel does, like whether it be wrestling or Masterverse, it's definitely always with a kid in mind, right? Like, I always feel like, okay, it's kid first. A kid can play with this, but hey, let's add enough to this to where it's still appealing.
I don't know if that's entirely true. Actually, I would say that because I collected like almost all of the Masterverse figures, and I also collected almost all of the retro ones, and I would say the retro ones are adult first because we had them, and so we want to buy them.
That's fair.
But they've also got kids in mind because of like they're just so simple,
right?
And I would look at the Masterverse again as someone who's collected almost all of them. And I would say that they absolutely have adult collectors in mind first, because that's all the all the sensibilities for the figures are definitely more geared towards adults. That being said, they do absolutely think of the kids. I just think it's second because their Masterverse figures could survive the pull test, right? The limbs, the pull test is like the limbs, and they're made with play grade plastic, not collector grade plastic.
I guess that's what was more my point with like the actual figure themselves.
I think they're thinking absolutely of both, but I really feel like with this DC line, anything that like is like going to be a replacement for McFarlane, I think that will be largely aimed they'll say whatever to whatever on the box, but I believe it'll be largely aimed at the adult collectors.
And you also have to remember that they do have Mattel Creations, so they can sell things like maybe in the future, maybe that's where they'll sell the figures that are 17 plus for like a Jonah Hex and stuff like that. They did just open up a Club Grayskull again, and I actually joined for that because I'm a huge Masters of the Universe fan. So I wanted to get, first crack at some of these figures and stuff. So I mean, it was $10 a year, so I didn't think that was too bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, that lets you know that they are thinking very much with the adult in mind, and they have been ever since DC Universe Classics, right? I mean, they know that kids aren't going online and subscribing to the Signature Collection, and they're not going online to Mattel Creations in general, and buying Mossman, and Cyclotron and stuff like that, or Cyclone. They're not like, it's not kids that are doing that. Like, this is adult collectors. They know, and the research is in that it's adults that are primarily keeping the toy industry alive. It's not kids anymore.
Yeah.
I guess one thing I'll point out from seeing a lot of similar sentiments from the audience about investing in a line and the line ending. And that's where some of the frustration comes from. Like, hey, I've spent X number of years collecting McFarlane and it's over. And it's like,
but it's going to end sometime.
I mean, like DC Direct ended, forever. Mattel ended, heck, even Kenner ended, and Hasbro had it at one point. Mattel had it at one point.
But
they went back.
Try to be thankful for the time that you have with that, and look back on the accomplishments that line made, because it's not going to last forever. Like, there's no way. I mean, we fans kept the Signature, kept the DC Universe Classics alive a little bit longer by subscribing to the signature collection, like the one figure a month deal. But that was DC Universe Classics on life support. Is what that was.
But also, I think for a lot of folks, this is their first time this is happening in their lifetime. Like for us three,
true enough.
Like, we've gone through this.
It's kind of a little traumatizing.
Many times. Like when DC Direct folded, when Mattel lost the license,
Hasbro had it.
Had it. Like, for a lot of folks who collected McFarlane, this is their first DC line they've ever collected. So it is a little bit more traumatizing, I think, even for us who have gone through this before.
But here's the thing that people it's like can remember, like, you don't have to stop collecting. Like, unless you're like a completist, there's probably gaps in your collection that you can go out and try to find. Whether that might, be more expensive, I don't know. But like, I'm sure Ahsoka, I know I have, I've gone back for DC Direct figures that I've always wanted and got them. I went back and bought Mattel figures that I've always wanted. So like, my collection is still like, I still don't have everything that I want, even from the old Mattel figures. So.
I'll even go back to the boxes, right? Like, every now and then I'll pick up one of those old DC Direct 2-pack boxes. Those are beautiful works of art from the ground up. They're amazing.
They
are the
are.
figures as articulated? No, they're not. I mean, and that's just the way it is, because that was the times that DC Direct came to be in, right? We were still coming out of certain figure forms. And
I think the one
now it's different.
Go. The one thing that is probably for certain with Mattel is that it's going to be pinless joints if you're looking at the Masterverse and the WWE. So that's kind of cool. I think the reason that Todd hasn't pivoted to pinless is just because the sculpts are, for the most part, already made, and that would be very costly to switch over. I mean, will it be done maybe at some point? But like, I think for the DC universe, I don't think you're going to see it.
I know a lot of people want pinless, and I don't like. I've never really cared. Like, pinless,
I don't either.
But as a customizer, I'm like, I kind of like the fact that I can get to that pin, right? Heat it up.
I think
with a small screwdriver, and I can change leg parts, right? So I've never really been like, I'm okay with it.
I think pinless, you can do it too. It's just a little bit more work.
A little bit more challenging. And if you fuck up and break it, then you got to buy a whole new figure, right?
Yeah.
What's your advice for we got this news. The McFarlane DC multiverse line is going to end early 2026. For those in the audience, maybe you're like, hey, should I keep collecting? Should I cut my losses? Like, what are both of your thoughts on that sort of topic? Rob, we'll go to you first.
I mean, I for one, I'm going to keep on collecting just because that's what I do, and I love the line, and I'm going to see it through. And then when Mattel comes out, I'm going to pick up that stuff because I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
So like I said, he's got at least another year with the DC multiverse license.
Yeah, and a lot can happen in that time.
One thing you got to know is it's going to be probably some of the best stuff we've seen yet because he's always learning from past experiences.
Yep.
And two, the stuff that's coming out towards the end are usually the ones that cost the most in the aftermarket. I mean, like look at like past toys like Silverhawks even skyrockets in the aftermarket. So if you want to get
the last wave of superpowers, right?
Yeah,
Mr.
the last
Freeze and Captain Marvel, they're uber expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. I'm gonna keep collecting because for one, that's just like I buy, like some people, I get it, they only buy one line of figures.
Yeah.
I do think it's a bit extreme when some people are like, oh well, they lost the license, I'm just gonna sell it all. Like, well, but why can't you just keep it and display it? Like, why do you have to sell it because it's no longer? I mean, did you give away your Nirvana albums when Kurt Cobain died? Like, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't understand the mindset behind that. At least I can't relate to the mindset behind that. And in fact, I'm the opposite, right? Like when I go to Dollarama, which I guess is the Canadian version of your Dollar
Tree.
Dollar Tree and Dollar General. Dollar Tree is cheaper stuff.
I was just thinking about the Dollarama video you made recently, which
right, and that's all DC stuff. Whenever I go there, I look for DC stuff, right, and I'll buy it all. So for me, for a new line to come out, I see it as something hopeful, and it's the beginning of something new, and it's a new ride. It's like I don't want to ride the same ride at the amusement park the whole time. I want to get on a new ride. That's how I view it. So this is a new ride for me to get on, and it's like, what kind of adventure am I going to have in collecting now?
Right, we're already collecting multiple DC lines with Mafex and Fonjoy and this and
well, we are, but a lot of folks. It's just more multiverse, right? So I get the sadness, but it's like I know you guys are saying like you can go back, fill in your collection.
Yeah.
But also, if this is the only line you collect and it's over, like that's a hole in your heart, right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is something I do. I'm a part of. I enjoy, and like unless you find, unless you go to Mattel or that, I definitely understand like missing that, right? Because we obviously we've diversified our portfolio of collecting. So
but see, here's the thing that I do and probably Ahsoka does that Brad doesn't do is that I just intermix everything.
Yeah.
So like I'll have a Mattel with a McFarlane with a Fonjoy, like they're all together.
Look at that! I got a Mezco with the Hot Toys right behind me. That's
I have on one of my shelves back there. I have DC Direct. I have Mattel. I have Superpowers. The little 3 and 3.75 inch figures, all like on one shelf together.
And for those who said, let's be honest, DC Universe class, I loved the classics. There are
I did love
duds. There's some duds. Let's be real. Every line has some duds.
Yeah, I still have some awful.
No,
awful. That's extreme. When you compare it, like a lot of people were like, it's not. People compared it to the original Marvel Legends, and as far as I'm concerned, they're awful. They look terrible. Those original Marvel Legends.
And the one thing that I
feel like it's better since Hasbro got it because they've got that mix of form and function down pat. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, I get it. A lot of people think they're awful because they have those weird hinges.
Yeah.
For the groin, the groin hinges was not a super great idea, and that was like what Mattel came up with as a thing, and it was.
The one thing that bothers me or concerns me is that for me, McFarlane filled the void of DC Direct because it was detailed, very collector focused. And then, but prior to that, we had DC Direct and Mattel. So Mattel was a little bit more, kid friendly, mass produced. And then DC Direct was more detailed, line. And yeah, so now like Mattel is going to be the only one doing anything. So
I
like,
don't know if that's true. And here, I honestly don't know if that's true.
yeah,
I think for like basic mass market, I think that's true for mass market. But like I still think that you'll still have your Mayfexes.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, for
Right,
sure.
and your
That's
SH Figure Arts and stuff like that doing their thing, right?
I guess I meant
Mondo.
domestic. I guess U.S. right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like that's what I mean. Like, so mass market mainline.
yeah,
Yeah. Then I would agree with that statement, that idea for sure.
yeah,
But the thing is, I gotta have the hope that Mattel has been sitting on the sideline. Like, if they went for the license again, then they're obviously going, crap, we lost it. And maybe they were unhappy with it for all that time. And as soon as they could go for it, again, like realistically, maybe they went for it because it was like they feel like they want to try something better. They want to do better with the license this time. So like, I really don't think, like, a lot of people are just assuming we're going to get DC Universe Classics again. I really don't think that's the case. If we get DC Universe Classics again, I will fart on a bag of crackers and eat it. Like, I honestly don't think we're going to get that again. I think that they're going to do something.
Yeah, it's going to be a new monster.
Different. Yeah, and the thing is, once the McFarlane line is over, it's been a beautiful, wonderful thing, and it's been largely catered to fans, right? And then we have this new thing, and all the money we were putting into McFarlane, we just put it into the new license, right? We just buy that new stuff, right? And probably end up spending less money just because Mattel never releases it. They never released as much as McFarlane did.
Yeah, I think McFarlane is king with quantity.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They shovel that stuff out like coal into a fire, into a train engine.
It's
it is.
amazing.
It's pretty crazy the gambit of reactions to this though. On Facebook especially, man, I'm just seeing so much like happiness about this, so much like sadness, a lot of bitterness,
Instagram
all over
too.
the place. Yeah, I'm like, all right. It's a
One thing that
Yeah.
always kind of irritates me is that how everyone views Marvel Legends. Not saying that I collect Marvel Legends, so don't get me
me
wrong.
too.
But that they're like the gold standard of action figures, and I'm like, it doesn't have to. Like, everyone wants stuff to go with their Marvel Legends, and I'm like, I don't see the need for that because, one, those companies don't ever really cross over that much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and if they did, you get a figure line based on it.
Yeah. So, like, you have the Marvel Select that does pretty well with McFarlane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even the old Mattel never went with the Marvel Legends. So
I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't. Like, if I had the license, you couldn't. There's not a chance in heck I would make my figures mix with Marvel Legends. I just,
Wouldn't that be smart from a business perspective though? Because you get all those
make
Marvel
them
Legends.
match?
Yeah, but it's like,
no, hell no.
But I would think, like, I'm a Marvel Legends collector. I don't dabble in DC because it doesn't fit my collection. Now I'm like, oh, hey, that Batman will look nice next to my Wolverine if I wanted to do that.
You would get
You know what I mean?
You would get some. There'd be some people like overlap, but honestly, they're gonna make way more money from actual fans. Like, their market, like their target audience is DC fans. Their target audience is not people like they're like dabble with one or two DC figures. They're not going to cater to those people. They're not their audience. And if they are, they're like second or third, right? Their first initial market is DC fans, and so they know that like fans are going to be like, I want to get the Superman and the Batman and the Flash, and after you've got all the main characters, then they're like, okay, then we also want a team build, and because Mattel and McFarlane both, they're team building. They started with some basic characters and then they started team building. Have they been perfect? McFarlane hasn't been perfect and Mattel wasn't perfect, but I absolutely think that with Mattel it makes more sense for them financially to start all over again, because then they're guaranteed to sell a lot more full 6-figure waves.
Yeah.
Right, than they are to sell the occasional Batman to someone who wants it next to Wolverine. That's my take on that.
I think
I wouldn't cater to anybody. It's my product line. I would do my own thing. I want to do the best product I can, but because tooling is so expensive, I want to do maximum profit as well without gouging and being, a shithead with the pricing.
One thing that I've noticed with Mattel with their figures lately is that with He-Man and the Masterverse and stuff, they do have add-ons that it's not just painted, that you can even remove. Even with the Thundercats, like you can take off the parts and make them classic figures versus,
Which
so
I'm
I think
really
that's
excited about, by the way.
going to be really cool.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is that I always, like I said, going back to the diaper, it hides usually that articulation in the groin that I never really liked. So I like that. But if Mattel even did something similar to the DC Essentials line, where it does have that neck peg to look up and that articulation, the neck hinge, I think that would be something special.
I'm placed in the same way that I said in the first place. I was going to trust McFarlane to do something good.
Absolutely.
I'm going to trust Mattel to do something good, because in the end, I mean, they don't want this license to be nice, right?
Yeah.
They want this license to make money. And so they'd be daft not to do their market research. I guarantee they've done their market research at this point. The dollars to donuts have done their market research. Like, they didn't just walk in and go, here's what we'll pay for the license. And Warner Brothers was like, great. Like, they probably had to, like, there was a lot of paperwork and proposal and concepts they had to put in. I know, because I took business courses, like, that was one of the things that we had to do. And then when I did a request for proposal out of business, again, I had to do one of those for real. They want to know what you're going to do. They're not just going to hand it over based on price, right?
Yeah.
What's your goal? What's your 3-year goal? What's your 5-year goal? What are you going to do with it? Like, you got to lay it all out in black and white for them.
I guess my only fear is I see it and I'm like, and I'm like,
your fear
of the
oh,
Mattel
you mean
stuff.
like if they come?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I love collecting this stuff, right? Like, I want to continue to collect DC figures. I hope I like it, because.
But think about like how McFarlane started. Like, the Superman was awesome. The Batman was like okay. Like,
the
first Batman figure.
The first Batman, the Detective Comics 1000.
Yeah.
Pretty shit. There's only like 5 figures in the entire series that I'm like, that was bona fide miss. And that was
so like miss. Like the Superman was great. The Batman was I'd say mid. And then they had like the Harley Quinn. But that was just the first wave. Now the Hellbat was awesome. So like
there's some
Ultimate
Superman armor.
What I'm trying to get at, Ahsoka, is that there might be some swings and some misses at the start, but look how far McFarlane has come. I mean, each figure, in my opinion, has just gotten better and better. So I mean,
but to echo Brad's point, we got to be hopeful. Just like with James Gunn's new universe, like Rob brought up earlier, it's a new era. This is going to happen at some point. So, as these things do, we got to give Mattel a fair shake, right? Like, you're absolutely right. We should have confidence that they've seen what McFarlane's done, seen the success, and hopefully they'll be wise enough to continue with that collector focus in mind. And it changes. It's always difficult sometimes.
Yeah. You know what? I can respect how some people, it's almost traumatizing for them or really frustrating. I can respect that. Like, I get it. Like, I understand what it's like. I just think of it differently. I just process it differently.
I mean, I wish that McFarlane could keep going forever, but that's just not the world we live in. Everything's got to end.
I actually don't. Not because I dislike their product, but I like eventually, it's kind of like if I had the ability to live forever, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd get bored eventually.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
I've grown tired of this.
Both companies could make.
But then you can see every toy line ever. Brad.
There you go.
You never have to stop.
Right.
As if toys are still being made in 100 years. Who knows?
First of all, but just wanted to give a shout out to the 204 people watching us.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wow.
Tonight, especially on short
Thank you,
notice,
guys.
watching three middle-aged men wax philosophical about action figures and
It
hopes
got
and
pretty heavy.
dreams about toy lines and Brad's segueing it to death and living forever. I would love to explore that topic a little bit more. I guess.
I just want it to be
Yeah.
customizable.
Oh,
There
you
you
guys
go.
will find a way. You both are very.
Yeah,
You
we'll
guys
do it, Rob. We'll figure it out.
No, I'm not worried about that with you guys. Come on. All right, guys. I think we beat that one up enough. So let's segue. Unless there's any final thoughts on this before I move on to the next topic.
No, I'm good. I think I said my piece.
It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
had my
piece
thoughts.
from a beautiful person.
And I'm glad I did this here and not on my own channel, to be honest. Like, I'm really glad that I had ideas to bounce off you guys and
Yeah, it's good. We have a good
and stuff like that. Like, I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No, same here. I love having our healthy debates, and that's what this is all about, friends. And all right, let's move on. Rob D Toys was at Toy Fair. This little sneak
Yeah.
was at New York eating pizza, schmoozing with Todd McFarlane and the McFarlane team, meeting our good friend Al in person,
Yeah.
who did our intro and outro. So,
Yeah.
you know,
It was
Rob,
a great day.
I'm sure.
I will say that.
You want me to share your page first, or you want to set it up before we go into?
I'll set it up, sure. So like I woke up early, like I think around 4 o'clock in the morning, got in my car around 5, drove 3 hours to New York, got there, parked my car, and then
No, wait, hold on
in.
a sec. Jesus, horrible prelude to this. What did you do in the car? Did you listen to music? Were you
Oh
talking?
yeah, I was
I
listening
wanna
to
hear-
my favorite mix, which is mostly like pop punk and skate punk. So
Did you pick up any fast food on the way to New York?
no, I didn't actually. I did not eat until afterwards.
You didn't just raw dog it all the way to New York? Like no music, no food, just driving?
You just listen to your tires on the road the whole time?
No, that would be horrible.
I know. You're a music guy too, right? So you
Yeah.
definitely have music on.
All right, so you ride to New York, you park the car. Where's that? The Javits Center?
Yeah, I walked like to the Javits Center, yeah, and then got my badge. They moved because I'm technically press. They moved the press into the, like before it was outside of the showrooms, and then now it was in the showrooms, so you couldn't even go there to get like, because they usually have bagels and snacks and drinks and coffee, and so I was going to get that instead of going, to like Starbucks or whatever. And then I learned that because it's inside, I have to wait until the rope cutting at the ribbon cutting at 9. So I was just there walking around, and then I got a text from Toy Shiz that he was then in the
first name drop of the story.
and then he told me that he was at the press thing, so I met him there. We talked for a little bit. He had to go to his meeting. I went to walk around for a little bit. My wife does puzzles, Beth D Puzzles. That's her thing. She got into it. So if you're into puzzles, or your wife is into puzzles, that's the place to go. So I walked around the showroom floor looking at puzzles and then just trying to like schmooze with the puzzle people and getting cards and trying to help her out and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
You're a good man and a good husband, buddy.
Good
there's I wanted to give a shout out to Puzzles of Color or Color, yeah, something like that, where it's like African American just art in puzzle form, and it's anything from like history to just like beautiful paintings, and they were really nice, and just wanted to give them a shout out because I think they're just starting out. So
what's the bathroom situation like, Rob? Did you have to like take care of business before you get to Toy Fair?
I went to the bathroom. I was like early in the morning, nobody's there, like in the bathroom. So like if you got to do number 2, that's the time to do it. But
so no, it's not.
The restroom when the place is full. Always when the place is full and make loud farting noises.
Oh gosh, jeez, who brought that topic up?
So
I get into full-blown conversations with people at the campground in the summertime. In the stalls next to me.
And anyway, so like my first meeting was with McFarlane at 10 a.m.
All right, let me get to the McFarlane. You got a lot of content on here, buddy. Look at
Yeah.
this guy.
Well, someone said to do a lot of reels, so I did reels, and then I also did. But before you get into the pictures,
Yeah.
so I was doing reels, and then I was going to do photos after I left the booth. I got halfway through the McFarlane booth because I was like, okay, because I knew once Toy Shiz started posting stuff, nobody was going to look at my stuff.
Nobody's
right?
going to beat the Shiz, you know.
Yeah,
but you got it.
He's like top tier, god tier, S tier of toy,
news and
everything.
coverage. Yeah.
So I'm there. I'm halfway through it. I realized that like he hasn't been through the booth yet, so I'm like, okay, good. I'm getting the drop, and then halfway through, I turn and look. There's Toy Shiz. I'm like, oh no. So I'm like scrambling to get through to like post stuff. And he's like, nah, dude, just take your time. You do it. So he was very gracious about it, but he was
like a good guy, dude. Very good guy.
Yeah, I love that guy. So yeah, it was funny because we went through the booth and then I had like a smidge of downtime, which I'll talk about then, and went to the NECA booth. And then again, he shows up at the NECA booth, so we were just kind of
let's talk about what you saw at the McFarlane booth now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, take it away, sir.
I do want to say that people were asking about Doom and other places, and I'll be honest, I didn't look. I'm sorry. I was there just for the DC stuff, so I apologize.
I need to get a few of those.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting at least 2, and I can confirm. There is a yellow S on the back of the cape.
Ooh, yeah.
And it is wired.
I didn't think this is actually in the same way that the Superman figure from Fletcher Studios was really significant for me. This is just as significant because my first introduction to Superman was Christopher Reeve for movies, Superpowers for toys, and the artwork was Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. And this is a figure directly based off his artwork. So I'm really
the head sculpt is so beautiful. Like I just, and the blue is not as, it's a little darker and brighter than the Earth 2, but it's not as dark as the Task Force. So it's like a great in between.
Like Reeve, is it almost like the Reeve blue?
It's similar. I think like
is it like this blue from this guy?
Which one's that?
That's the one that came with the atomic.
Yeah, I think
it's not like this, is it? No, it's not. I can look at your screen and tell that's not the same.
No,
we're such nerds, Brad. We each had a Superman figure at the ready.
Even if like the only thing that would make this better is if the belt loops were bigger. So like if you wanted to, you could probably put the Reeves diaper on.
Yeah,
trunks, but
and the black outline around the S is kind of.
But I do like the creases in the undies.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. Like I know people are saying like, where's the muscles and stuff, but like in the comics, they just drew like, back in there. I mean, it's not overly muscular.
Yeah.
I like that he looks like he's actually wearing clothes, but that's my personal take.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I could do without the black line, but it is what it is, and I'm stoked for this.
Yeah, I love the black line. I don't know why. I dig it. So you saw the back of the cape, or they just told you?
I asked someone, but you can, if you look down, like through you could have seen.
Oh.
Looking through the window.
Yeah. I guess I should have done a video of that, but I didn't. Sorry.
That's all right. Okay, beautiful.
But that is the digital one. So you will get physical, and then you'll get a digital version.
Next up, we have some.
This is a new line. The Super Friends.
This is so exciting for me.
If you guys are old enough to remember that DC Direct did Super Friends line, that was awesome. But this is a smaller scale. This is the Batman 66 scale. Yeah. So this will go great with them. And they also did the New Adventures of Batman from the 60s. So this is very cool. And that we're getting a Lex Luthor. That's fantastic, man.
Looks awesome.
And even the jets on the boots are so awesome.
I love how that actually looks like Super Friends because they got the line.
And the green is so bright. Now, this is the only problem that I have is like, why are you making such an integral figure a platinum like this.
A red platinum.
Yeah,
A chase.
the chase. Yeah,
Ah.
maybe it's so that they can get the whole line out. I don't know, but
Chase has stressed me out.
Was there any
Yeah.
other info about the Super Friends? Like, is this the first wave? Or they could
yeah,
do...
it's the first wave. So they're hoping that
Yep.
will continue.
So we can assume that Joker and Superman are coming because we have Lex Luthor and Batman.
Yeah, I mean, and Robin and Aquaman and
Yeah,
Wonder
all the main
Woman,
characters.
Solomon Grundy, hopefully, maybe. That would.
You know what? It's not going to be super extensive, I bet, because they only have the license for, that limited amount
But
of
if
time.
this is under the DC Direct line, so it's possible that this could stick around.
Maybe.
See, I don't know.
I'm not counting on it.
Yeah,
I'm not counting. It might. You're more hopeful about that than I am. I tend to think that it's going to be zoom, done.
yeah.
I agree.
Well,
I don't think, especially like superpowers, where they could do it if they wanted to. Like,
Yeah.
it's.
They won't.
The
I
only
don't
thing
think
that
they'll
I'm
do
hoping
superpowers
is
again.
that, DC Direct was around at the same time Mattel was around.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, while they can't do the 7-inch line that they're doing now of Multiverse, I'm hoping that they will be able to continue that line or Damage. Now, Damage is on the Green Lantern body.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, yeah. You see the texture.
Yeah, and it has the
Yep.
neck, and then it's the arms from the Platinum Sinestro.
Dang, that worked really nicely for this.
Yeah.
Did they really swap parts? That's not a thing they usually do, and they did it. It worked.
Yeah, and this looks awesome. And I was actually thinking of it's a red platinum, which kind of sucks. But like I was
Oh,
saying,
it is a red. I didn't even
yeah.
realize it was a red.
So
Piss up a
I'm
rope.
thinking if I could get my hands on more, you could make it like a Blue Lantern.
Supergirl. I read that story. Anyone who hasn't read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, you need to read it. You need to read it. It is really good. The artwork is beautiful, fantastic. The narration is wonderful. One of the best graphic novels I read. In a long
And the
time.
boots are like, as you can see, they're
Yeah.
not just painted; they're sculpted. So
Yeah.
this figure is beautiful. The face, I do have pictures, which we'll get to probably.
Is the hair gold?
Oh,
It's like a yellowish gold. It's not gold like you're thinking of gold.
Yeah, it looks like it's got like a sparkly goldness to it.
Yeah,
not
and she's
yellow.
got beautiful makeup on too, which
Looks
it's hard to
great.
tell on here. I think that the upper body is from the older.
Yeah,
Kara.
the logo looks the same. Yeah.
Yeah, but the legs down, or the waist down, is obviously different.
Yeah,
Beautiful figure.
I'm really stoked for that. That'll be my go-to Supergirl. Kingdom
And-
Come.
He does have gray. You can't really see it. It's not like, it's kind of like the Hal Jordan gray. It's kind of there.
How does this look in person? Like, does the face?
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think once you see it in person or in John's photos, I think you're gonna dig it.
Okay. All right. I trust your opinion, Rob.
Yeah,
And like I said before, I would love them to do a
Oh, man.
Batman like Kingdom Come style on that body buck.
There's
And this is also a red platinum.
man. Now the only thing I saw this in your pictures, right? And I thought, the only thing I wish they did different for this one is I wish they didn't give him the full body Grandma knit sweater from the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Just because he should be shiny.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like the universe. Like,
You know what I could see
right,
though
yeah.
is them doing a glow in the dark with all the dots. That could be kind of cool.
It looks like his head is smooth, but the rest of the body is not. And it would have been better if he was completely on a smooth body. I'm still gonna buy him. I'm glad to have the character,
Yeah.
but I would be even more appreciative if he was just smooth.
I just look at these guys and I'm like, okay, how can I use them for Green Lantern parts or something?
you
Really?
gotta.
Are you building your Justice Society though?
I mean, I am. I'm definitely
You need
picking
him
this
for
up.
the
I'm
society.
saying extras if I can find
Yeah.
extras.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I'm totally building out Justice Society. And then his mods, which
Soups can be. Oh, you didn't stop on that one.
I
just bought the Batman, the blue and gray, and I want to get the Superman.
yeah, the Superman does look nice.
You like those, Brad? Those models?
Yeah, they're smaller than I thought they were going to be, but they're
Yeah.
a neat little shelf filler, right?
I have, unfortunately, I have not enough space. So like that kind of stuff.
Pause. Look at that. Yeah, I mean,
I do like King Shark with
look
the
at King
boxing,
Shark, eh?
with
That's
boxing
pretty fun.
gloves.
Yeah, I like that too. I saw Bane and I didn't get him,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would buy King Shark and Soups for shizzle.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
What?
Jim Gordon on the Constantine Buck. Great
Yeah.
reuse.
The only thing
Yeah.
that bothered me is that tear in his shirt. Yeah.
That doesn't really bother
It bothers
me.
me.
I understand that why it bothers you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an action figure, so I understand that it needs to have, you know.
It looks great. I wish
Articulation.
it was like smooth, instead
Yeah.
of being like terry like that. Other than that, it's fantastic. Like
They resculpted
year
the
one.
knee, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
But there's still the tear in the upper thigh of his pant. You can see it.
Yeah, I kind of wish, and maybe we'll get one at some point, or maybe it'll be a platinum.
Yeah.
Is that we got an older version, like with an extra head.
Oh yeah, they would just paint his hair gray.
Yeah, and I'd be
But
fine with that.
He needs a Siggy.
But like,
Yeah.
if they're gonna paint his hair gray, let's do like maybe a different color shirt or jeans or something. I don't know.
Yep. What is that?
I have no clue what that is.
How
I
do
just
I know what that is? I read current comics and I don't know what that is.
Wasn't that from that fail-safe series? No, that's not what it's from.
People in the chat, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I somehow am not recognizing it.
Or it's from a Justice League story, maybe? I don't know.
It looks cool though. Like it definitely looks cool. I just don't know what
It's Heaven Bat.
it's what?
Instead of Hellbat, it's Heaven Bat. I like that. Final suit.
All right, well, we'll skip it.
Did anybody in the
Final
chat tell us
form
yet?
Batman.
Pardon?
Final suit Batman.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's from a specific story from it's like at least not even a year old. I forgot the author of it. Folks
You
in the
know
chat,
what? I've got a stack of Batman comics.
And
that
he's
I'm
pretty
behind on.
big, so it feels like he's like kind of like a mega fig. I don't know if he is considered one, but
That looks like it's all new parts though.
yeah, it definitely is.
Fun design.
Yeah.
Justice League 24.
You know that he's getting a glow in the dark version then, if it's all new sculpt. Todd doesn't release a body once, right? That they always release the body more than once, so he'll get more than one release. That figure will too. But the bat wings are reused.
Yeah.
They're from Hellbat.
Let's see. I was gonna see if I can.
That's
All
pretty-
right, though. I like that.
Trying to
That's
find a picture of it, but we'll move on. It's a cool looking figure. All right. Let's see.
We saw
Already have
those.
So
Have
these.
him, yes.
And then
There
dun,
she
dun,
is.
dun, dun.
Shut up and take my money. Take it
Yeah,
now.
she looks absolutely amazing. I think she's got Wonder Woman's arms. I don't know if she'll have the legs. Maybe I think it is her legs because the boots are kind of the same. So I'm thinking this is Wonder Woman's body. The wings look like the Sky Tyrant.
Sky
Oh right, yeah. I'm glad
That
they
looks great.
went. Yeah, especially you can fold down the wings.
Yeah,
Like Hogman's wings, man. It just takes up so much shelf space. Just
I seeing this makes
I
me
took off his
want
wings
them.
and put the other ones on.
there you go.
Seeing this makes me want them to do a traditional classic
Hawkman.
Hawkman with those
Yeah.
wings and those colors.
Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah. And the mace too. I don't know if you saw that, but
Oh, yeah.
the flat-
it's like a silver. It's not like just like a gray plastic.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Like he looks great, but is he supposed to be black? Is he
He's
black
supposed
in
to
the
be
current?
browner, right? Because he's from
Yeah,
a
he-
mixed
well, he's
lineage,
like-
right.
I thought when he first came out, he was just a white dude.
No, his mom is black and she's also Asian, right?
Right.
Black
That's
Asian
what
mix.
Connor Hawk.
Yeah.
No, Connor Hawk. Yeah, because I remember seeing images of him before. I'm going to look at him, and he was always just like he looked
but
white.
I know, isn't he back now in the current comics?
Yes, and he's not white now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's where that's coming from. Because I was like, I remember him in JLA is looking like this.
He did look like that in JLA. I just
Oh,
don't know. I thought he was dark complected though.
Maybe he was a slightly. Yeah, no, I don't know.
like this
Maybe
is
he
from
was darker, and people thought it was just shadows.
Yeah, like right
I
there.
don't know.
That's from Quiver right there.
Like he looks pretty white there,
Yeah, like I see like
and yet here he is currently darker, right?
yeah, exactly. Like
So the question is, which version is it? And it's the older one. But oh, there he is. His skin's a little darker with blonde hair.
yeah.
So maybe people just thought it was shadow. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he always had blonde hair regardless, but
See, the thing is, he came out and was a character during that little time period where I couldn't afford to collect. I was a street kid, so
Look at Patrick's knowledge. There was controversy because JLA accidentally made him lighter.
oh, well, there you go.
Oh, because they could not conceive that Oliver King could have a black agent. So, okay, interesting. All right. I'm getting educated tonight on
Yeah,
the true origins of Connor Hawk.
yeah. I don't know enough about him either.
Yeah,
I
but even
wonder, like it would be not, and like I didn't even think to at the time to ask anyone about it. I saw it and I was like, oh, but like so much was going through my mind, even about like what's happening with McFarlane and stuff that I forgot to ask certain questions. So I apologize.
no, I mean when I was doing my video, I just like
Yeah,
this is
'cause
how I
there's-
remember him, like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah,
you know.
right. That's what I remember seeing.
And
it's
maybe
like
that's what
white as
they
can
went off
be.
of.
Pardon?
Maybe that's what they went off of.
Yeah, if they're looking at Wikipedia, that's how he looks at Wikipedia. So
Well, no, but DC, like licensor or whatever, has to approve.
True.
Like they can do what they want, but they got to get approval for
Yeah,
it.
like DC has to approve it. So
okay. Well, all right. There's that.
his hair is really tall, but mine is too. So there's that.
Maybe they based this on you, Rob.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's Robin Hood.
That belt looks like it's from
What is she doing?
Red Arrow.
Sorry, my cat's like going crazy.
Okay, then we got The Dark Knight. The first Connor Hawk was white when he first came out in 1994. All right, we got a lot of discussion going on here, guys, and I love it.
I mean, this is obviously a straight pickup just because it's 90s.
It's 90s. It looks like the JLA version. I dig it.
Yeah.
Our Man. I really am excited about Our Man. That's a shut up and take my money figure.
Now that's obviously the Spectre body.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like you can see the texture of the skin, right? It's also the Marshman Hunter body.
Yeah.
You can see the texture of the skin, which is kind of weird, but I just chalk it up to it's leather.
Yeah. Sure.
Tight leather.
It looks great.
I'm building that JSA, right?
I'm sure you are.
Yeah,
Seen that.
Here comes the good stuff. We've seen that.
I'm excited about this one.
This one is
the head swap.
Yeah, so his suit is darker.
So that picture you're looking at now is not accurate to what it's actually darker.
No, that's pretty accurate, but like it's darker than the one we saw before, like the classic.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, this is
more modern.
That's contemporary to the 90s. No, modern. He's lighter than that now, but
modern in the 90s.
Yeah, that's 90s. That's 90s colors.
Yeah, and
he just needs.
There's no
paint off his belt loops.
There's no black around the S. And it's a much larger S. So if you wanted this to be like, if you did a head swap, this could be a perfect Alex Ross Justice Superman.
Yeah, I really am. I'm excited about this. Like really excited.
Like that S is like the size that I wanted. Like that's like a beautiful.
Yeah.
But you got to buy the set, right, with the Godzilla.
Yes, you do.
I actually want the set though.
But
I want the Godzilla.
That Godzilla is a showstopper. I will tell you. Like when people from McFarlane's booth said, "Okay, well, what was your favorite out of the display?" I said Godzilla.
Really?
And that Superman, and Godzilla and Supergirl. Those three. That Godzilla, his head turns, his jaw moves, his arms move. His
Yeah.
tail is bendy wire, so it's like it moves. And the thing is massive, and it looks. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. My son's a Godzilla fan, so I'll probably buy 2. Give him 1 Godzilla. I'll keep 1.
Yeah.
And then get 2 Supermans.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy. My plan is to buy 2 of these for the 2 Supermans, 1 Godzilla, and then I got a Godzilla that I can give away as a gift. I have people in my life that would love this.
You guys
Yeah.
are making a lot of plans for these Superman.
Dude, that
Godzilla
Godzilla is legit, and like the detailing on that figure is.
Oh, you disappointed.
Incredible.
Pack Photos wanted your Godzilla. Wanted to
No,
go
I'm sorry.
halvesies.
I'm keeping my Godzilla.
Womp
I'll
womp.
go maybe if I need a third one, I'll go half with you. But yeah, and then it comes with the little figure guy.
Captain Carrot.
And then here we get the what is that? Is that the Hasbro Kenner inspired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's the Hasbro one. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have the Hasbro one over here. Yeah, because the Hasbro made 2 versions. They made a blue, and then they made a black version. Kenner made the one with that's red, and I have that one over there too, the red and gold.
Oh yeah, that's right. I love it. Is it gonna be Entertainment Earth exclusive, or do you recall?
I think that one. It's either Entertainment or Big Bad. I want to say Big Bad for some reason, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one.
We won't.
Mr. Freeze looked amazing.
Back there. Now he was a surprise.
Oh, Shadow.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me restart the video, guys. I apologize. I went through that very fast. Get back to Mr. Freeze. Bear with us.
Yeah, I do wish that some of those had better articulation, like with Godzilla and stuff. But I mean, I guess for that size, tooling costs more. I don't know.
Thanks for capturing all this great footage, by the way, Rob.
I was just trying to show the world.
You did a great job, buddy.
Yeah, I actually like that head sculpt more in person than I thought. You know, like people were like, "Oh, that head, screaming head." I'm like, if you see it in person, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, the teeth are a little weird, but
that I pre-ordered that Flash,
yeah,
that 2-pack.
So there's Mr. Freeze. This is the one that sold out already, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping that they get more because I'm kicking myself for not picking.
I know, me too, man. It looks great.
Yeah, they picked up like they painted more of the blue.
Yeah.
And then of course it's like this shiny like bluish silver, which looks absolutely awesome. And
the Shadow guy. What's his name?
Yeah, the Shadow Pack guy.
Shadow Pack guy.
What is his name?
Night something.
Night. I don't read those comics, so I don't know. Sorry.
Nightmaster. Nightmaster.
Then these Batmans in the back. I see the red platinum.
Those are platinums, and they're like the rainbow colored Silver Age Batmans.
How many colors are they doing? Just those two?
Well, so far it's just those 2.
Is that supposed to be purple?
Yeah, that one's purple.
Purple, okay.
So they have purple and orange. So if they did those, if you looked at the comics, they had red, green, they had a zebra one.
White. They've already done the white bullseye Batman or whatever.
Did they do the rainbow? There's a rainbow one too, right?
Yeah, DC directed a set too with the Superpowers Batman.
Yeah, I have that set.
Yeah,
great set.
Good.
Yeah, the Batman comes with the head. I think I did this too fast. I apologize.
It's okay. This is the build of Bruce Wayne. We've already seen an announcement.
Yeah, the Bruce Wayne head is ridiculously good. It's like
the Batwing,
spot on. So.
Oh, look at this guy, little schmoozer.
It's the man hanging out with Todd.
Yeah, it was funny because I was talking to Claudio, and he comes up, grabs me like on the elbow, and was like, "Hey, Rob," and he asked me how my day was, and then we ended up talking for 20 minutes. It was cool. He was telling me about like he really loves baseball. He's obviously like, you know, getting excited for like the new season to come up. He was the UFC fighter not figures. It's like those statue type things, like the starting line type thing. Was wondering how they would do, because with like starting line, you know like who's probably going to be the MVP and stuff, but with those guys, the turnover rate of who's going to be on top happens so quickly. Like, are people going to still want their favorite figure or characters or whatever?
Or how long will they be their favorite characters?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Todd's very into sports, so there's all that sports stuff there. I obviously the Spawn stuff, which I did post later. I don't think I have it in this one, but if you go to there's also photos that you probably passed to, if you wanted to just look at photos.
Yeah,
like that one, like those.
I love that mace.
Yeah, that mace is awesome.
Yeah,
I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, I forgot to. I think
when is
he
he
pulled
from?
it out. That is from the cartoon, the Justice League cartoon that was for
Justice
kids.
League Action, apparently.
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific looked purple and yellow and black in Justice League Action?
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh. I bought all those figures too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't have one of him.
I'll probably skip this one. It doesn't hold any meaning to me.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
But these definitely are pickups.
Absolutely.
Great,
is Rob Italian?
Yeah, he does. He doesn't quite look purple in that picture, eh? Your phone picks him up as a little dark bluish. Not the orange one.
Oh,
purple Batman.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
He's purple. He's purple.
Yeah, it is. It is purple if you see it in person. It's definitely a dark purple with a lighter purple.
Yeah. Just like the Batman game from '89 or '90.
Yeah,
and then right there is the NECA toonies. The
can we see those?
Yeah.
So I've bought
got Damien
and Superman.
And then it's got both Catwomen and both
Batmans.
And then
okay, do you see those? You see those?
Ben Cooper.
I bought all 5 of those from Big Bad Toy Store, and I can't wait to review them.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I am so stoked.
And they're gonna make like great Halloween like photography and display.
Yep. I've got Freddy and Mike Myers and Jason, and I'm gonna have like them set up around the house.
What's funny is like growing up, I had the Superman and Batman.
I had a friend that had the Batman.
Oh yeah,
aren't they so friggin' cool?
They're
those
awesome.
are pretty. Oh wait, so these are like mini Halloween costumes, basically.
They're little kids in Halloween costumes.
Yeah,
that's what that.
They're articulated kids.
I'm sorry.
With
if
you keep going,
you're right. I remember this costume when we were like small. Okay, that's really creative.
Yeah, and like here you'll see the articulation.
Oh my god,
I know, right? Aren't they awesome?
Crazy.
Yeah.
These are so fun.
That's pretty awesome. Like,
yeah, so they have
you're gonna be super nostalgic now for this stuff.
Yeah,
I would collect all these if I could, for sure.
Yeah, I mean they just announced a new
There's
one.
more.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The ones in the packaging behight are like the new ones.
These masks are so like they're so cool and they sort of cracking.
And more tunes.
And they like all right, that's pretty awesome, dude.
That's a weird looking dude sitting on the floor.
Yeah. So they have that. And then
I'm there for it.
Do you know what the price point is on these? Or Brad, you bought them?
Yeah, I bought them I bought the whole set for like what was it, $100? Like $20 a pop, I think.
And these are from NECA?
Yep.
Wow, those are so creative. I had no idea what these were.
They look like Ben Cooper costume boxes, which makes it even cooler. Like I just think these are fantastic.
How fun!
You're really into these too, eh? You went back.
Apparently, I know. I'm sorry. I got.
Yeah, no, go for it, man.
The nostalgia.
If you want Ahsoka, if you wanted to buy the whole DC wave, it's $100.
Yeah,
for all 5.
Yeah,
you're right. That would be such an awesome Halloween decoration.
They are
to put around.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Something else I need to buy.
Yeah, they are, and they're not huge. They're like kid sized.
What? Oh, I almost bought the NECA Ernie figure,
dude. I love this. Like, I was a huge
Yeah.
Sesame Street fan as a kid. My kids grew up on Sesame Street. I think this is awesome.
These are pretty awesome, dude.
Oscar the Grouch. I
these
love
are really
how Big
nicely
Bird
done.
comes with two heads. The
Well,
regular
the
head and
season
one
one
that looks like
head,
he's been
and then
drinking all night.
the new one.
Pardon?
And then I also like with the Oscar that you can put all like the trunks of the elephants in his, like, because he always said that he, you know, keep it down. I got a room full of elephants down here. So I thought that was creative. Anyway,
All
Big
right,
Bird's old head looks like he's been friggin' out all night drinking.
so I guess
Thundercats look cool.
Yeah,
oh, look at
and
this
then
guy hanging out with Mr. D. Amazing.
dude, he was. I love that guy. He was so fun. Like, he was at the NECA booth when I ran in because he was finishing up, and then Blaine was like, "Oh, I got my next appointment's here," and he turns around and he's like, "I'm like, hey, I wanted to meet you. I saw him at the last toy fair, but I didn't want to interrupt him." And he's like, "Dude, Rob, I know who you are. Like, I follow you." He said that how refreshing it is that we talk about DC stuff and that we don't bash it, that we love it and we just enjoy it.
No,
So
that's really kind of
Oh,
him.
he
shout
knows our
out to
show?
The Amazing, because, and you know, I ran into him twice, and like we talked like before that, and then afterwards. He's just a great guy. I hope to get to talk to him more.
That's awesome, dude. Very nice, Rob.
And he also says, for anybody who wants to, because I asked him, like, how do you pose so well? Like, that's the one thing I need to work on. He says, just practice. You know, take like a half hour out of your day and just fiddle with your action figures.
Oh, I
And,
thought you meant like posing for a picture. I'm like,
no,
those
posing.
look great.
No, he always says he does a funny one and then he does a standard one. So
Let's touch on Mattel since you got to see some stuff. I mean, listen, this stuff looks great.
yeah, this is the Masterverse.
Yeah.
They didn't have much stuff out, eh?
Not of the Masterverse, no.
No.
This is really cool.
But they
Where's the
did
Hordak?
have. What's that?
There was
Yeah,
a
I was
black
wondering
Hordak,
that too.
Pardon?
I was wondering where Horak was too. That one. So I do have photos later on. This is the video, or maybe if you went back. So Orko is like from that episode with the cousin or
And that Baker.
the Uncle Orko. So you can switch between Uncle Orko and regular Orko. And this is the Filmation cartoon collection.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And
Mask.
You got
then
some really
the
good
Spawn stuff.
That
Ninja
Thundercat
Turtle
stuff
stuff.
is good. That guy top middle totally is baked.
What?
Look at him.
Lips.
If that guy ain't baked,
Dude, he's the
Whoa.
Muppets. This was from the 70s.
he's definitely baked. There's no question he's baked. Those guys are all big pot smokers.
This is a pretty cool figure. Just the
Yeah, I love the Muppets. So like
Yeah, me too.
I have all of the Diamond Selects Muppets,
I
which
look
is
at that
also
field
why I
case.
want the Sesame Streets.
Oh, man, this is pretty rad.
Yeah,
Weird
they look
contract.
great, man.
Yeah.
And then there's accessory packs like this.
This is not, dude. They got the artwork.
They got the artwork.
Yeah.
That's fun. They got the hand.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Nice.
These are
Actually,
accessories, man.
Patrick says, I bet we get a DC Motu Origins crossover line, and I would probably lay money on that. No, nothing was said to me, but if they're doing Thundercats, then yeah. And by the way, like if you go back to the Thundercats one, that's the Super 7 one. Those are like based off of the old He-Man figures.
The other ones where they're more articulated.
Yeah, if you keep,
I still gotta get the Lion-O behind.
Go down.
Go down.
Down further.
Keep going. Yeah.
Right here.
There you go.
No, those are the
those are
deluxe
some-
figures.
They look
Oh,
so
here.
good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
These look great.
These are the Masterverse, and what's awesome about these is like you can take parts off of them to make them like the traditional Panthro, Lion-O. You can change Skeletor to be like the traditional Mumra. And these are 5.5. So they're the same size as the He-Man figures, but they do look different because I think they're thinner looking. They're not as muscular as the Masterverse or mass He-Man Motu Origins figures is what I mean.
I am
But,
there
like-
for these. I'm totally there for these.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking these up because like He-Man even looks awesome
Yeah.
with that.
When are they supposed to come out? Did they tell you?
I believe these are fall, sometime in the fall.
Nice. That's nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I definitely love these.
Old school Thundercat nerds here.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to wrap it up pretty quick soon here. But I guess, Rob, any final words from Toy Fair? How did it end? Did you any other observations, thoughts, comments?
No, I mean, it was a whirlwind of a day, just trying to get everything done. Wish I had another day to just like go back and see stuff that I might have missed because, like some other figures were out that I didn't get to see. I would have liked to have seen the Hasbro booth, but I couldn't get in with them, so it's all good.
Okay.
We spent the evening, went out with Al, Claudio, and some other people and Toy Shiz, and we went for dinner. We went. It was funny. We went to this Korean barbecue place. It was 85-minute wait, so we were like, oh, we don't want to wait, and the place was packed. So.
Yeah.
We went out. We went down the street just a little bit at one of those corner pizza places that was like $1.50. I got like a meatball and sausage pizza, Coke. Ate it. We all had a good time because we were all hungry at this point. And then went over to the bar, got a drink, and then came back. Then I think we only had like a 10-minute wait from that point, but it was my first experience at a Korean barbecue restaurant. So
It's fun.
yeah, I mean the meat was good.
Oh,
I'm not a
mhm.
vegetable guy, so like I didn't eat any of that stuff, but everyone at the table seemed to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I love Korean barbecue.
And
It's
I
a
missed
regular,
it.
it's a regular staple over here. There's one like 5 minutes from my house, thankfully.
Yeah.
So it's always on the menu. Well, Rob, listen, this is like you had a good time. You got some good footage for everybody
Yeah.
to enjoy. You know, Al ate like 5 steaks, he's saying.
He
so,
did. He kept
yeah.
like the steaks kept coming and he kept eating.
I'm not
Dude was like
surprised.
a bottomless pit, man.
Yeah, he looks like he's one of those skinny guys who can eat a
Yeah, I
ton.
was gonna say.
You know?
like, he packs it on and like, where's it going? The hollow legs.
Yeah.
I guess, guys, final thoughts. First of all, thanks to everyone in the chat. Great turnout tonight on short notice. So thank you, Hal Jordan, Christian, Patrick, Alistair,
And we didn't even
Monkey,
talk about the
Jeebus. You know,
the Green Lantern promo picture.
we'll save it for the next show. We'll save it
Yeah.
for the next show, guys. We will.
It'll be old news by then.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
have
talk
news.
about it. There'll be other stuff to talk about.
Always is, guys.
Yeah.
Always is. But thanks for watching, guys. As far as Mattel and DC goes, let's try to be helpful, like Brad said. See what they turn out, and hey, we still got another year and change of McFarlane to keep buying. So we will keep going. But that's a wrap, guys, for the DC Infinite Hour. Brad, Rob, any final thoughts?
Nothing on this end.
Yeah, like you said, stay positive. There's no reason to be angry about things. There's always something you can be thankful for.
Very nice,
yeah.
Rob. It's a beautiful sentiment right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Negativity is like a fart in an elevator. You got to deal with it too. I mean, everyone else has to deal with it, and so do you, and no one likes it.
Brad, I like the way Rob put it better, but yours was equal as eloquent. Sorry, guys.
Be a force for
right.
good out there. That's
There
it.
it is. There it is.
I'm not a fart in an elevator.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Scratch and Sniff, Rob D Toys. Love you guys. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.